after this kind of highlights, this is like the greatest manga chapter of all time, man. They're all running in there like, for the waifu! Oh my god! This is straight up like the greatest manga chapter of all time. This is like, them all is running in there like, we're gonna save our Mereoleona. We're gonna protect her. we're gonna save Mereoleona. This is the greatest thing ever. This is like I can just see. I relate to. Yeah, there's another band when they all run up there. And like all of them are like, whoa! Yeah, jumping into the attack. She can like charge her firepower to maximize because he refuses to go back. Oh my god! This is the greatest manga chapter that has ever been done, guys. This is the greatest chapter that I ever read in my life. Yeah, it's ultimate waifu. But it makes it even better because everyone loves her so much. All the men are like, we will die for Mereoleona! Yes, it's just so good. It is so good. This is like the greatest thing I ever read. I mean, with the first two guys, Rudolph is like, Mereoleona-sama! And he dies for her, and I'm like, that's me. I would also jump, take a bullet for Mereoleona. Everyone dies to save Mereoleona, man. It's just like, oh, it's so ultimate. She's just like, you can't regulate my fist, man, because... Yeah, he got like super healing, which is like, it doesn't matter, I'm gonna burn every cell in your body. Yeah, it's kind of like, you know, old school Dragon Ball. Yeah, it's like, I will just burn everything you have in your body. Yeah, I will just massively kill you. Yeah, it's like, I will just destroy every cell you have, man. Whew, that was a highlight, man. That was a highlight, yeah. Not dropping Black Clover then. Mereoleona didn't die. Everyone else died instead. I'm not dropping Black Clover because everyone else died instead of Mereoleona. So, see? Tabata, he knows what I want. It's just like, you can have 50 people died, or 50! It's like, yeah, don't it, guys. Everyone else, except Mereoleona, yeah. Fugelon does something. Yeah, honestly, I don't know what Fugelon's like lulling around, I guess, like an angel over there. He's flying around and doing something. Yeah, he doesn't seem to be very useful in this fight. Honestly, he's like fighting the low class angel guys. Yeah, he's like fighting the level 1 angels. When Mereoleona's going against one of the boss angels, yeah, he's just like, oh, whatever, yeah, sister, you can do something. But it's just like the craziest chapter ever. Jesus Christ! Yeah, I was thinking like, if Mereoleona dies, then I'm dropping, right? This is the greatest chapter of all time, and yeah, I mean, it's like, and then they all die to save Mereoleona. All of them jump in to take. Not only is it the first two guys, right? They're like, we can help her by taking the attack, yeah, so she can charge her power, right? And then the rest of like 10 more people are like, Mereoleona! Like, this is that. Oh my god. Oh my god, this is the greatest chapter ever, man. This is the greatest chapter ever, yeah. When these two guys dies, then everyone else keeps coming running to her like, Mereoleona! This is the best thing I ever read, man. This is like the greatest chapter of all time in manga history, man. Jesus Christ, man. Unfortunately, it ends with that the author then, Tabata, is sick again, yeah. Might make another video about that. I don't know, it's just... it's an ongoing issue, right? That he's like sick a lot, right? And you know, it's a lot of hard work, right? Being a mangaka, you know what I mean? That's why it usually kind of drops down a bit, quality and so on. Yeah, I mean, to be fair, right? Almost every manga drops in quality after a while, right? And I think that one massive reason why is because, you know, they get sick a lot, you know. So for example, Tabata, I think his writing is kind of the same thing. But there's certainly been some chapters, especially when he got that 3-month sick leave kind of thing, right? When he was like, there was some chapter that had some really weird art, right? Not to, you know, he's a great artist, but there was like one chapter that was like 5 pages. Yeah, that was very strange. Yeah, it was like, oh, Lucian's fighting, and it's like, or Lucifer fighting, and it's like just 4 or 5 panels, and then it was over. It was very strange. So then the next chapter was like this, and so you can clearly see how he's like, you know, he's probably had a lot of health issues, and it's like, whatever, do this quickly, right? I remember Naruto, Kishimoto, when spoiler if I assume everyone is like read Naruto by now, right? But there's this thing with Sasuke, and it's going to get his team, right? And then when he gets Karen and so on, when he get all the characters, there's a couple of chapters there when he's adventuring with his new team, right? After the time skip, and the manga panels and like the paneling and the art is just appallingly bad, like straight up. I'm just like, what is this? Yeah, like the author, you know, goes from like, let's say 9 out of 10 skill to like 2 out of 10, like ridiculously bad. I remember reading it. I was reading it when I was, of course, you know, when he was doing it, dropping it weekly, right? It has to be like at least 10 years ago then. And yeah, there was a couple of like 4 or 5 weeks there when the chapter was just like, oh my god, the art is just really terrible, like really terrible, like the worst it's ever done. And then he just picked back up again to the normal kind of Kishimoto art style, right? But it was really, really terrible for a few weeks. And I was like, man, this guy is probably like on sick leave or something. He's just like, he's probably on paint, like throws it out there. But that's kind of how you know, unfortunately, right, when it comes to mangakas, you kind of feel like, for example, Kishimoto, he probably should take a break there instead, right? You know, he probably should take a month or 2 months, right? Instead of taking a break, he's just like kind of working-ish, you know? Yeah, it's like, I just kind of doodle something and then they, whatever. Yeah, it's like, it felt like he kind of gave up. I was just like, no, I'm like, he's lying, I'm just imagining him like lying in his bedroom being like, you know, yeah, still working, but can barely like move, like, just throwing it to the editor. Whatever, it's good enough. Yeah, they're like, really? It's barely, I'm puking over here. Yeah, it felt like that probably happened. He was probably sick for a month. I was just like doing that, right? So it's unfortunate in the end that, yeah, another month break. He's taking breaks every now and then as well, right? Like 1-2 weeks there. It is Golden Week next week, right? So it's a break in like break showing up. So it isn't an actual like month break. It's more like a 3 week 3 weeks. It isn't actually a month break, technically speaking. I would argue that it's a 3 weeks break, right? Because it was gonna be 1 week regardless. So it isn't as long maybe as it might feel because it's like, oh, it's a month break. Like, no, it is. Of course, it is. Result is a month break, but yeah, it was always gonna be at least 1 week. Sometimes 2 weeks, we go in a week with some authors. So I mean, if it's like, you know, if it's like he's like, okay, it's Golden Week, it's like vacation time in Japan, right? Part of the week or whatever. He's just like, okay, let's take a longer vacation. It's kind of like, I guess you compared to Easter, right? In like in Europe and America, so you have Easter holidays, right? Which was of course earlier in April. So it's kind of like that. So where I'm from, like Sweden, a lot of people, right, take out like a week of absence, right, during Easter, right? So they have like, because usually you have like 2-3 more days that are holidays, right? Because it's like you know, different Christian holidays. So if you take those days as vacation, right? So let's say that, for example, on an Easter week, maybe you only have to work, let's say, Thursday, Friday, right? And then the other 3 days are you know, free. So of course people take those 2 days free as well. Then you have a whole week, right? Maybe next week as well, right there. And also usually on Easter, the what's it called? It's a spring break, right there, like whatever, yeah, some kind of holiday for kids, right, for schools. So a lot of people take like 1-2 weeks break there, right? So I think it's kind of what it fits here, though. Like maybe his health definitely is a little bad, right? But also, I think a little bit like, okay, he's like, you know, like it's like vacation week anyway. So, but yeah, what an amazing chapter. It is the greatest thing ever. It's like, it is the greatest thing ever. It's just like, Mereoleona! Oh my god, it is so good when they all jump in there and they're like, save Mereoleona! Save Mereoleona! This is the best thing ever. She's just like, I will punch you so hard, we will burn so much that you cannot renegade. It will be nothing left. So much hellfire, so hotter. This is why Mereoleona is the best wife, man. But allow everyone in the whole, like, her crew is like, we will die for you, Mereoleona! This is the greatest manga chapter ever. Yeah, everyone dies to save Mereoleona. This is the greatest chapter that I ever read in my life, man. It is so good. This is the greatest. The greatest thing ever. Jesus Christ, man. Oh yeah, I'm exhausted. I'm exhausted. It is the best thing ever. The greatest manga chapter I've ever read. Seriously, Jesus Christ. Everyone dies to save Mereoleona. Anyway, just subscribe, press the like button. Check out some more stuff coming today.